Hey parents, again, it's 2020 and we've got a tropical storm dumping rain and just creating craziness for us again. I hope you've had a chance to work through some of the devos this week. It's so important that we start our understanding of a biblical worldview through the lens of God's purpose and plan for the world and for us. This week lays the foundation for further conversations about gender, marriage, intimacy, and the value of human life. It's vital that we start with God's design and not simply just responding to brokenness. You see, God can redeem anything, and that's an important value. But choosing to live by God's design is also important. As your kids get older, as your students grow up, they'll begin to see the effects of brokenness in our world. Because we don't follow God's design for gender, for intimacy, marriage, and we don't value human life, we see brokenness in divorce, abuse, mental disorder, abortion, and STDs. That doesn't mean that a person's unredeemable. We must recognize and help our kids understand that God's plan will lead to a life, while the world's way will lead to darkness, sin, and death. But in all of that, we must continually teach our kids that God sees them as valuable. No matter what they've done, whether they're at the best of the best or the worst of the worst, they are loved and valued by God. So much so that he would send Jesus to earth to die in our place. And not just when we get our act together, but when we're altogether unlovable. God showed his love to us. This next Sunday, we'll move into the next part of our story, and it's really not the fun part. We'll talk about the devastating choice of sin. Your challenge for you and your kids this week is to make a 10-second video about your favorite superhero and tell us a little bit who it is and why. And you can find the link and submit both the challenges and the questions to the link below. Remember, we have a parents class on Sundays at 9:30 where we talk about the things that we're doing in order to best disciple our kids. Remember, the best thing you can do for your child to prepare them for life is to point them to the author of life itself, to impress him on them, and to make at-home discipleship a part of your family. God has called you to make disciples of your kids, and we're so excited to partner with you in that process.